If you're a woman in leadership, especially at the director, VP, or C-suite level, you know something nobody else understands. It's possible to be at the top and still feel like you could lose everything overnight. You worked for years to get here. You fought harder than most people know. You took on workloads that should have broken you. You made sacrifices you'll never talk about. You held your breath through every restructure, every leadership shift, and every political shakeup, hoping you'd survive it. And maybe you did survive it, but it didn't make you feel safe. Because deep down, you know your career is still not yours. Your future is not yours. Your seat is still not yours. One wrong boss, one shift in loyalty, one political decision behind closed doors, and everything you've built could be taken from you. You know it. You feel it. You live with it every single day. I know that fear because I lived it. I climbed and crawled my way up for years. And from the front lines to the VP seat, I worked harder. I outperformed everyone. I proved myself over and over with every new leader, every new direction, and every new expectation. I made myself invaluable, or so I thought. And then one leadership change. One. And I realized the most devastating truth of my career. My success wasn't mine. My future wasn't mine. My career was never actually in my control. It didn't matter how good I was. It didn't matter how hard I worked. It didn't matter that I had given the organization everything I had, because I never had a system that made me untouchable. I only had performance, and performance doesn't protect you. That was the moment I understood something most women never learn until it's too late. The title doesn't save you. The hours don't save you. The quality of your work doesn't save you. Only strategy does. Only power does. Only a repeatable system that puts you in the driver's seat does. So now I want to talk to you, the woman who shows up every day with a polished face and a gut full of panic. This is the woman who leads at the highest levels, has a title everyone respects, has a salary people envy, has built a reputation she had to bleed for, yet still wakes up with that low hum of fear. What if they don't choose me? What if I become replaceable? What if everything shifts again? What if I lose the seat I fought so hard for? You're exhausted, but you hide it. You've achieved more than most women will in their lifetime, but it doesn't feel secure. You're proud of how far you've come, but you're terrified of going backwards. And the worst part, you don't see a way out, because slowing down feels dangerous, changing companies feels risky, advancing feels political, and staying feels suffocating. So you grit your teeth, overperform, overcompensate, overfunction, not to grow, but to survive. This is not leadership. This is captivity. Here's the truth that nobody ever taught you. Women don't rise because they're the best performers. Women rise because they understand the system of executive power and they use it. Women don't stay because they're nice, loyal, or hardworking. They stay because they built a strategic infrastructure around their value that makes them impossible to remove. That's what the top tier executives do. And that's what you were never taught. So I built the solution. This is the repeatable executive system for women who refuse to be replaced. This system is not about grinding harder, not about pleasing the CEO, not about being the fastest responder or the most reliable operator. This system turns you into a woman whose value is measurable, visible, strategic, political, and undeniable. Inside the system, you become someone who cannot be overlooked, undervalued, or replaced because you fundamentally shift what you drive, how you lead, and how executives perceive you. This is not theoretical. It works because it blends tangible systems that generate hard results. Building KPIs that make your value impossible to ignore, driving revenue, strategy, and people outcomes that secure your seat, leading teams that multiply your impact without multiplying your workload, creating visible executive narratives that make leaders fight for you, and the identity-based internal rewiring that ends overperformance, eliminates imposter loops, breaks pressure addiction, rebuilds authority and self-concept, positions you as the executive solution, not the performer. This is the system I wish I had before everything collapsed. And it is the system that now protects every woman who learns it. This system works because CEOs promote and protect people who drive revenue, strategy, and people, not performance. Organizations cannot afford to lose leaders who understand leverage. Strategic clarity increases promotion speed 200 to 400%. High performance teams multiply your executive value. Identity and behavior rewiring changes how every room responds to you. And when you drive what matters, politics no longer apply to you. This isn't motivation. This isn't theory. This is organizational power, codified into a system any woman can learn. If you're listening to this and you feel that ache in your chest, that recognition, that truth you've been trying to outrun, let me ask you something gently but directly. How much longer are you willing to let your future depend on someone else's decision? How much longer will you overperform to feel safe? How much longer will you sacrifice pieces of yourself to survive politics? How much longer will you pretend the fear isn't eating you alive? How much longer will you hope you don't get replaced instead of ensuring that you can't be? You already climbed higher than most people ever will. But without a system, you're climbing on sand. If you're done with that, if you want stability, authority, safety, and control that cannot be taken from you, then tell me, do you want the next steps? Because the moment you learn this system, your entire life changes. Your energy, your confidence, your leadership, your career trajectory, your earning potential, your safety, your future. Everything shifts fast. This is the only path to becoming untouchable, and you know it. So are you ready to rise?